Contemplating looking at that as well, because I don't know if I want to play this game or not. I know this just came out. I've never played a Dragon Age ever. I tried playing Dragon Age Inquisition, and well, I couldn't get past the spiders, so I never played it. Yeah. I don't know if this is gonna spoil anything for me. I highly doubt it. He didn't spoil anything in the Sparkling Zero one, so maybe this will just help me figure out whether I want the game or not.
The best Dragon Age game that I've ever played.
Counterpoint!
Oh! Oh!
Alright, Pips, I've got no time to spare on this one. In the middle of editing this video, that bitch boy Bill Gates bricked my PC and I had to start over again. But that's not even the fun part. The fun part is I've only got about 24 hours until I gotta catch an international flight. So now you're getting the speedrun version of this video. Strap in and strap on.
He says that as if... He says that as if most of his videos aren't speedruns. I love Fleekazoid, but every time I watch him or Maxer, I feel like I'm on like this sugar high. I feel like I am on the powder. I feel like I have eaten a bunch of pixie sticks.
Here we go. Dragon Age Veilguard,
which is not a bad
like
thing.
Something straight out of a Tumblr fan fiction. This looks like
a
Pixar movie. Dragon Age Veilguard looks like something straight out of a Tumblr fan fiction.
I bet you Mario got him per Gannett. I bet you 100%. I know your baby daddy. I know your baby daddy is Mario. You can't tell me otherwise.
This looks like a Pixar movie, but with less balls. This looks like yet another established franchise that's known for one thing and gets flipped into the complete opposite.
That's Morgan, right?
To a wider audience that doesn't exist. And I, for one, wish BioWare all the success that Volition had. But before I get into my anger with this game, I know Veilguard fans get pissy when people use their eyes to see, and they feel like because people are pointing out how shit this game looks, they can't like this dog shit themselves. And I'm here to say, I don't really give a fuck if you like it, alright? Just come talk to me about it next to this window. To kick us off, look, I know this game identifies as a Dragon Age game, but it's hard to choke that down when I can see the throbbing Assassin's Creed Valhalla hanging from under its dress. Instead of finally building upon Origin's janky but engaging combat system, BioWare took the coward's way out by assimilating with the Borg and making another shitty action game with light RPG mechanics. This looks like a clunky and packless hack and slasher. The combos look basic as shit, the flow looks horrible, and from one action game...
I couldn't tell if he was going to say like, like, you know, if it was bad or good, because like usually people say like, oh, Assassin's Creed is like, you know, Assassin's Creed is good. I haven't played Assassin's Creed, so I thought he was gonna be like, oh yeah, like.
To another. I know you're trying to protect little Jimmy's eyes for when he accidentally buys this game thinking it's a Fortnite sequel, but if this is the direction we're taking, maybe we could splurge on a little bit of gore in our M-rated game, huh? Even funnier than that, the journalists keep trying to convince me that my decisions will matter, but now, not even my previous decisions matter. There are a grand total of 0 decisions that will pour it over from the first 2 games. Fun fact, Dragon Age 2 was made in about a year and had about 20. Speaking of Valhalla, we now get a skill tree that's packed with a fuck ton of passive
we all love
bonuses
skill
to give you
trees.
the illusion of there being more to unlock than there actually is. And you know what? I'm actually fine with this because personally, I believe in gratitude. I believe that there are so many people out there that have it so much worse in this world. Like, for example, your companions who now have a kids menu skill tree with, get this, 4 whole abilities. Remember when
only 4?
You could level up your companions like they were a main character? This tourist remembers. But hey, who needs that? Now your decisions really matter. Remember when you could kill off a main companion in the first 5 hours of Origins? Well, that ain't shit. In Veilguard, your choices decide what chick's gonna randomly moan in the middle of dialogue.
Back to your camp and...
I'm gonna look that up on, if I ever play this game, I'm gonna look up how to get how to get the girl moaning choice, please. Fatal Cartel, thank you for the 6 months. I appreciate it. Thank you for the 5 months. Resubscribing, and I appreciate you so much, Fatal Cartel. I remember that art piece that you did, and I loved that too. Can I get a shout out for Fatal?
But now that I've given you the moans, let's get back to the bitching. This is Companions in Veilguard.
Honestly, when it comes to like my companions getting 4, I actually don't care if like my companions get 4 things on their skill tree. What matters is what my character gets, like how much what I get, you know? Like the companion's like, all right, whatever. It's not a big deal.
Well, wasn't expecting to fight an ogre today.
On the hide again.
This is Companions and Origins.
39 buried. 39 found.
Ben has been.
That's not a fair comparison. We also have this dumpster fire, this bisexual disaster. Ah! Before you
Lucas.
get angry, that was a description from the writer of that character himself, their self, whom
A bisexual disaster. They put a male version of me in the game. That's crazy. That's so crazy.
He also allegedly just loves his coffee. This game's gonna be another nacho night, I can feel it. Now, as for the tone and writing, I think it's gonna be that stupid, safe My Little Pony bullshit. I think that first
I love
wacky
My Little Pony.
trailer is what this game actually is. And these faux dark trailers is probably them taking the few times they get dark and pretending it's the whole game so they can bait and switch us on launch day. They can't really even hide that in their own trailers. Like, look at this. These trailers go, yeah, we're actually pretty dark and brooding.
Do you guys prefer dark games that have like more of a serious feel, or like goofy type games like this? Because I feel like the issue sometimes with people going goofy is that it's too goofy to the point that it comes off like cringe for some people. What was that one game? There was one game that came out. Oh, and everyone was saying like the writing was so bad because they were like, oh, they're trying too hard to appeal to the Gen Z crowd, that the humor ended up actually really cringy. I don't remember. Do you guys remember what game that was? It was like they were talking about the writing being like shitty. You like it when something serious has funny moments. I think they both have their place, but the game's got to commit one way or the other. Okay. You like dark and Gromus. Forspoken. It was Forspoken. Yes, that was the game that everyone was like, this writing is shit. You know, I didn't play the game myself, so I can't give you like a, I can't give you the thing on it. High on Life didn't have cringe humor. That was actually hilarious. High on Life was funny as hell. But yeah, no. A game with a shitty writing, can you be more vague? Well, no, it was a game that specifically was in articles about its writing. Like, there's a lot of games with shitty writing, but this game was actually talked about, which is why it's specific. Yeah, Forspoken, they caught on to what I was saying. They knew.
Oh, yeah, we're actually pretty dark. As for the voice performance, Rook sounded good, but then there's this woman.
What? No. Stepping into all that raw magic is suicide.
The storm could tear you apart.
Next, now I get why they're dropping the game on Halloween. These facial animations are scary as hell. Get
Uncanny.
that gaming away from me. They got that cold INTJ stare, that look of pure analyzing coupled with a slight sardonic smile that makes people uneasy. Or in other words,
They have the Dark Picture Anthology uncanny facial expressions. The only reason why a character should have facial expressions like that are if they're in a horror game, okay? If they're in a horror game.
they're all out here looking like the third Menendez brother. Following that, budget cuts, budget cuts, budget cuts. These companions are so ugly, not even the AI wants to look at them. How are you gonna brag about nudity like that's a selling point for this game, BioWare? Stop the threats. I'll buy the $80 version if it guarantees that I'll never come across Tasha's nudes by accident. Fuck, I got 12 hours till
my
this flight.
God.
Listen, this is what Morgan used to look like. This is what she looks like now. Point made, moving on. The only thing worse than what they made is what you can make.
So, for me personally, and I know for the team, it was important that you could see yourself in the game.
Unless you're a busty woman, this is tyranny, dare I say bigotry, and I won't let my busty favorite sisters in Christ be discriminated against. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Isn't like a Dragon Age 2 is a game where you can like pick your romance options, right? I feel like at this point, like every game should just have like a bunch of different options. Like you could be super sexy if you want to. You can be like not as conventionally attractive if you want to. Have it appeal to everyone, you know? That should be the thing. It should appeal to the people who are like, let's, you know, unless it's a game that's like Silent Hill, which it's not supposed to be about that. But like if it's a game like this, like just have it so everyone's happy. Either that or Inquisition. Did Inquisition have... I remember my character in Inquisition that I had for 2 seconds was really hot. I remember that.
Just when I thought we couldn't get any lower
Yeah, like,
than
just let the
budget
players
cuts,
make their
now
own
we
story.
have
Exactly.
negative budget. We are in debt. And I know this has been the subject of a lot of controversy, with many saying, including a former developer from BioWare, if you don't like this customization option, just don't use it. And you know what? I agree. And as long as that's the logic we're using, uncap those sliders and let us make some busty fantasy holes. Let us blow that ass out like an Instagram thought. And if it offends you, just don't use it.
Give us the
Finally,
dope
despite
beat.
every other RPG mechanic being dumbed down to pre-K levels, I've been assured by every game journalist that's been gargling BioWare's balls like mouthwash that your choices matter. And after hours of research,
What's wrong with gargling balls like mouthwash, man? What's wrong with that? You should be able to choose how your character looks. I feel that way too. I feel like, you know, I like when you have the entire sliders thing going on, you know, like you have a whole bunch of different options and you've got the sliders for everything, you know?
proudly say that your choices actually do matter. Because you have the choice to buy this piece of shit or go drop $5 on Dragon's Crown and have the ride of your life. Look at this
Oh my
art,
God.
look at this art, look at this art. This game is Dragon Age in name only. They're a company on the verge of collapse. Bait and switching you is their only hope. Don't believe them. And these gaming journalists are word prostitutes selling their opinions for free breakfast buffets at the Holiday Inn, saying shit like BioWare is back, baby, yo!
I'm gonna start calling my friends opinion prostitutes. That's a new one. I like it. I like it.
Listen, I have so much to say about this game, and I didn't even get to everything I hate about it in this video, but blame Bill Gates for that. He's a fan of Dragon Age Veilguard, and he sabotaged me. All right, my flight's like in fucking 3 hours, and I still haven't packed. I gotta get out of here. We'll continue this conversation when I get back. Fuck you, Bill!
F you.
Breaks Bill Gates.
Ah!
Look at the size of that boy's head. I'm not kidding, it's like an orange in a toothpick.